Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Andie Bernhardt. The Green Bay Packers are playing their second game in the division. They host the Minnesota Vikings, which swept the Packers last year, but it's a new season. Darius Joshua has the highlights of a dominant Packers performance. Darius?
The Dodge County Sheriff tells us this is the second time in a little over 2 years that a Canadian Pacific train derailed in the same spot, an issue he says needs to be addressed. Well, Natalie and Jessup, this is a fan favorite festival that's been around for decades, celebrating the LGBTQ plus community right here in Milwaukee and beyond. And you can hear it, but you can also see it. The party is going strong. You can hear those cheers coming from the stage. Thousands of people have been coming through here today. The National Guard is on the west side of Charleston to help people who are still without gas. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Andie Bernhardt. This comes after Governor Jim Justice declared a state of emergency in Kanawha County last night. Amanda, I can tell you it's been a very active scene out here for the past 2 hours. I'm going to step out so that you can see what I'm seeing out here. As you can see, police are still on the scene with a part of Hayes Avenue blocked off. This is where police say a 67-year-old was shot and killed around 1:30 this afternoon. And we've been speaking with his sister. We spoke with his uncle, and the words they used to describe him was hardworking, loving, pleasant. He just really cared about this community and was willing to do whatever he could. And in the end, his sister said this town is what got to him. But she said he would do it all again for them.
That's very true, Natalie and Jessup. But first, I wanted to update you and let you know that those around 55,000 absentee ballots, those are officially counted and wrapping up here. But like you said, what started off as an easy day ended up with some major issues at select polling locations right here in Milwaukee. Officials tell me that 7 of those polling locations actually ran out of ballots, and additional ones got low on ballots, and they may have also ran out as well.
Natalie and Jessup, it is not raining now. Thankfully, it's finally stopped. But I can tell you, the rain did not stop these loyal fans. If anything, it added to their outfits because they got to show off their NFL ponchos and all sorts of rain gear here today because they were ready for that full experience here today. Well, I can tell you just from the last hour since I talked to you guys, that snow has continued to come down, and there was a thick layer behind me, but a plow just made its way through. Let me give you a look. It's actually looking pretty decent by Highway 26 and I-94 right by that on-ramp and off-ramp, but it doesn't take long for it to become a mess for drivers here.
The Department of Neighborhood Services tells me more than 40 people have had to leave this building you see right here behind me near North 29th Street and West Wisconsin Ave because this apartment has become unsafe to live in.
Overnight, very cold, you have to wrap up.
Robert James says he's lived in this apartment building for 2 years now and says for the last almost 4 months, he's had no heat.
You know, mostly everybody is buying a heater up in here, you know, to stay warm. You know, I see people in the hallway wrapped up in their covers and blankets.
The Department of Neighborhood Services says 2 days ago they were informed the building had no heat and no water, giving the owners 48 hours to fix it.
We've communicated with them. We've given them 48 hours, but unfortunately those 48 hours expired, and now we're dealing with a situation of entering much colder weather than we have right now. And it's just going to get worse.
Thursday, the DNS shut the building down, causing more than 40 people to leave their homes, which were ruled unlivable.
What it's generating is a life safety issue when we have weather like this, and we're entering a weekend with worse weather of having residents with no heat and no water.
The DNS says the building had pipes burst and leak, even finding a car frozen in the garage. The apartment complex is owned by Bernhardt Properties, who's had issues in the past, something District 10 Alderwoman Charlene Moore says has not gone unnoticed.
There's only so much legally that the city of Milwaukee can do. We're still looking at and fighting for other options to hold landlords like Bernhardt and anyone else, you know, accountable for making sure that if you are going to be in the business of housing our residents, we want you to be a responsible landlord, period, point blank.
We reached out to Bernhardt Properties lawyer Joe Goldberger about the current state of the building, and he said he had no comment. As for how long until residents can get back into their homes, Alderman Moore says it could be a while.
And when I reached out to one of the staffers from Bernhardt, they said we ordered the part. I have no idea how long it's going to take, and so days could be weeks. We have no idea.
The DNS says those that were displaced from this apartment are being placed in a hotel temporarily, but they say that they worry that they could get more calls like this as more colder temperatures are on the way. Back to you.